Hey, Brenda here. I just stepped out of a corporate meeting and I just wanted to share an experience that I just had with just one of the coolest people. I don't understand how I get to work with just some amazing humans, but this gal had to fire someone, and this is a kid that had apparently gone through a couple different leaders at this company, and this was kind of his last stop where he went to her department and she was like not tasked with, but she took it upon herself to be tasked with hopefully pulling him out of this rut of his performance, because he was capable, he was able. And one of the things that one of the guys said, Christoph is his name, he's just friggin' amazing. He had said, it boils down to will versus skill. He leads sales, and he has had, every sales team has plenty of turnover. And that's what he said. He said every single exit interview, it always boils down to will versus skill. If they have the skill, then they are deliberately choosing not to take the leap. And I shared with her my own personal story with my ex-husband of where there were these massive issues that were going on, and no matter what I did, no matter how many books I read about it, no matter how much neurofeedback or neuroemotional technique we did, he didn't have the will to get out of it. That is not my backpack. And this wasn't her backpack with this guy. And so we just talked her through that situation and explaining to her that there's nothing she could have done. She gave him the platter of tools and skills and support and leadership and everything that she could possibly give him. And I asked her the question, did you give your best? And she's like, yeah, I believe I do. And did you lead him well? Yeah, I believe I do. And her colleagues were there affirming, frick yeah, she did, right? She totally did. But she's really wrestling with this. And this is a component that I really want to talk about is I don't really train this in corporate. And I used to all the time with my divorce clients, because of course they're grieving some serious things, but it dawned on me, she's grieving. She is grieving having to let someone go. She's grieving the feeling of feeling like a failure, that she didn't succeed in digging him out of his own pit. And he had plenty of lifelines thrown to him, and he chose not to grab the lifeline. He chose not to take advantage of the support that he was receiving at this company and the people who are willing to pour into him. He made that choice, and that's on him. However, she's grieving. Not only, there were two things where she's grieving the hope that he was going to step into this space and reach his potential. So there was this hope there but that wasn't fact for him. He wasn't there. He wasn't able to do that. She was hoping he could get there. And then she was also hoping that she could be the one that could pull him up out of it, as any good leader would, right? As any good leader, anybody with compassion, anybody with heart and care, anyone who wants that, desires that for their people. And she just displayed such compassion and such sadness at the fact that this guy wouldn't step up to the plate. And you know what? She did her job. That to me, I walk out of there and I'm like, she's a damn good leader. She really poured into him. And we can lead a horse to water, we can't make him drink. And at the end of the day, she's got that grief process to go through, but she did her freaking job. And so I wanted to share that, because so much of the time we're dealing with having to fire employees and deal with people and organizations left and right. And if you're human, it's hard. It's hard. If you are emotionally tied in any way to your people and you really care about your people, firing people should be one of the hardest things you ever do. And it can also be one of the most beneficial things you do for that person. Keeping people on who aren't pulling their weight, who aren't stepping up to the plate, who aren't meeting the expectation, you're just enabling them. You're absolutely just enabling them into poor behavior, and they'll never get out of it. And maybe, just maybe, this is the lesson that they need to radically change the trajectory of their life. Maybe this firing was the wake-up call that he needed. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know this guy from Adam. I don't know, but I do know that she did the right thing, and she did it well, and she gives a damn. She actually cares, and she is leading in a way that is just phenomenal. Now, mind you, this is also the woman who a month or so ago had sat in some of our training and it's I'm totally unemotional, and she's just embraced it, stepped into her emotions, and she's just rocking it like a boss. So could not be more proud, could not be more excited for her, and could not be more thankful for being able to do what I do. I just friggin' love it. And hopefully she gets to sleep a little bit easier tonight after our conversation and cutting the cords that she had over the situation, and accepting that she did her best. She did her best well. And this is his backpack he has to carry. She can't pick up that backpack. So if you've dealt with firing someone and this resonates at all, my heart goes out to you. It sucks. It's hard. It's hard every single time. And if it becomes easy, then that's kind of a red flag. So hopefully this resonates with you, and you can step into your grieving process and recognize some things maybe in your process, knowing that you're not the only one that feels this way.